Let's talk about it here at Nate's Table Talk. I have with us today two young ladies from Wildwood Baptist Church. They have started a mentoring ministry here with young ladies, Growing Grace. And I have them here. They're going to talk about this ministry here that they're doing with mentoring young ladies. Whichever one want to start off to tell us something about it, what it is, when it takes place, and what it's all about.
Well, it's called Growing Grace. It's between the ages of 13 and 25. If you want to go into why we picked 13 and 25.
The reason why we picked that age group is because, to be honest, that's an age group that seems to be mostly affected as far as the different changes that we as women and young ladies go through, the things that we experience when you're in middle school, junior high, high school, and you're going off into college, you're going off into the working world. So those are critical time frames for young ladies. So we felt that that's a key time for mentoring.
Definitely.
And it takes place what's the location and
well, it's different locations. We'll have it at church, at Wildwood Baptist Church, and sometimes outside in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do a person become a part? If there's someone listening now, how do they become one, and they have a desire to become a part of it or come visit it? How can they do that? Get a hold?
Well, there are several ways that you can. If you're watching this and you're listening, you can always email us. There is an email capability for this. You can also just put in the comments that you would like more information, and we'll receive that as well. Or you're more than welcome to come visit us at Wildwood Baptist Church if you are not a member, and you'll see our smiling faces as well. We'll be more than happy to give you more information regarding Growing Grace.
Yeah, because we're definitely passionate about Growing Grace. It's something that Wakita and I both have a heart's desire for, that we want to see young girls benefit from it. Grow in grace, just grow as ladies. It's all about teaching life skills, lifting up each other. We're doing all kind of things within a community. At our last event, we made vision boards.
Yes, and those vision boards, of course, they were able to map out their goals, different dreams they have, whether it's to get a job, graduate, get your diploma, to get your first car. No matter if you're 13, 25, 45, 50, whatever, you should have a vision. You should have a roadmap for your life. So we feel that it's very important for these young ladies to map out where do they see themselves in the future. And it doesn't have to be 5 years from now. It can be just 1 year from now, or it could be 6 months from now. But just to have that type of vision, that type of planning is very important, especially during these critical years. And Growing Grace is for any young lady. You don't have to be exclusively a member of Wildwood. Our vision is to help the community and to go even further than that, God willing. But we want to help as many young ladies as possible. So it's not limited to a certain group, a certain race, anything. We have it opened up for young ladies within that age group.
So would I be accurate in saying that you all are trying to help them to think greater than what they normally would think with their minds, changing their minds, that a person do not have to allow their environment to dictate their thinking, think above their environment, and then those things that stimulates that gives them, that they don't get involved in things that are not conducive to their life.
Exactly. None of us have to be products of our environment. If there's any type of negativity or any type of abuse, we don't have to go along with those generational curses. So if there are ways to combat bullying, abuse, any type of negativity, any type of low self-esteem, thoughts of suicide, thoughts of depression, a lot of young women and men, but a lot of young women, they experience these things and they feel alone in experiencing that. And so that what that does is it feeds on to all of those thoughts. And so what we're doing in Growing Grace, we're helping young ladies to realize that you're not alone. That's why we're all together. We're fighting this together. It takes a village. It takes a community. So when we come together and we discuss topics that they have picked to discuss, when we're discussing these topics, these are things that are on their heart. These are things that are bothering them. That these are things that are within their schools and their communities. And so we're letting them know, hey, you're not alone. There are other young ladies that are experiencing this too. So let's work through it together.
You know, I like that because I think it's much needed, because especially when returning and back to school, as kids go back to school, classrooms are now perhaps we could say that they may be overcrowded, and it's easily to get caught up into the hoorah or the things that's not conducive to their life, and get involved just because of the fact they don't want to be the one that's looked at as an outcast. They want to be a part of the group, and sometimes people find themselves joining something or doing something that others are doing that is not right because of the fact they feel that they're all alone. Mm-hmm. And so what would you say to an individual like that? How would you tell them to say no, in essence?
Well, what you mean as far as say no?
Not get involved into gang, not get involved into the fighting, the girls fighting, and that girl talk of that social media back and forth.
Right. Well, first off, I'm gonna just say be your own person. We are all created differently. Don't get caught up in all the hype of wanting to be like somebody else or being a follower, because like we've said before, social media would definitely get you trapped. Not everybody, what you see is what they're doing. So you have to be careful with that.
Definitely. And you have to, like Marquise says, you have to be your own individual. And that comes with, first loving yourself, knowing who you are. When you're solid within yourself, then nothing else in the world or anything that surrounds you can come in and infiltrate that barrier that you have created. So our goal with these young ladies, and like I said, even ourselves, we're growing in grace every single day by doing this. But the goal is we're helping them to see who you are, how you're beautifully and wonderfully made, your purpose, and the purpose you're supposed to live. And live out your purpose. And so that way, when they go to school, when they are in these peer groups, when they're around these so-called friends, when they're scrolling through social media and they see, so-and-so's getting married, so-and-so's having a baby, so-and-so's dating this person, so-and-so's doing this, they're not attributing their life to why am I not there? Because you don't know the backstory. You don't know what that person had to give up or what that person's experiencing to get that. What you're seeing is, okay, happy for them. I'm still working on me. And I think that a lot of people aren't thinking about I'm still working on me. They're looking at what someone else has and thinking that's where they're supposed to be, and that's not necessarily true. But that's knowing yourself first and being true to yourself first. And that way those pressures don't cloud your mind. Mm-hmm. And so that's just helping them to be more secure, standing in their own truth, and that way we're helping to build them up and helping them to build themselves up, because that's really where it works. Marquise and I can preach and have as many sessions, and we can do as much as, we can have sessions 3 or 4 times a month for these young ladies. If they're not wanting to do it, or if you watching are not wanting to make sure that your child, your young lady, has positive mentorship in their life, or a young lady's not really wanting to make or see, how can I better myself? I'm going through some things. I have no one to talk to. I don't have a circle that's supportive. I need this. If you don't want it yourself, then this is all for nothing. It's about self. You have to want it. And there's a lot of young ladies that need it. And so we're hoping that it gets to spread out to those that truly do need it and want it.
And I need it. We need it for ourselves. Like I said, we're still growing as women. And so I'm learning a lot through these young ladies. And they're holding me accountable too. And so I just love to see the fellowship
Yes.
when we all get together, they, like, when we got together for our vision boards and they was asking each other, how was school, how was your first day, it's just like, and none of them, I mean, some of them knew each other and some of them didn't, and so they just building these healthy relationships, these friendships, and so it's just kind of nice to see that positive side in this.
And it's good to see the ones that are in college. You have the ones that are in college that get to mentor to the ones that are in middle school and high school. That's important because you're getting to see what college life is kind of about, and they're sharing things, and they need to see that. And I also feel college students need to see what the middle schoolers and the high schoolers, because it kind of makes you appreciate. I know it made me appreciate when I was back at home and I didn't have to worry about some of the things I had to worry about when I was in college. So I think it gives them an appreciation, and it gives the younger ones an appreciation. There's a lot of mentoring, a lot of historical knowledge that is shared, and that's vital.
And speaking of college, one of the things that we plan on doing with the ladies is, like, the high school and even the middle school, is touring some colleges.
Yes.
We plan on doing community services. We want to take this further than where it's at.
Yes.
One step at a time.
So it's not about Wildwood.
It's not.
It's about community people.
Yes.
And one, building, mentoring these individuals that they can be better people, they can have a better life, be prepared for things in life, that they will think differently, that they are somebody.
Right.
Exactly.
And each individual brings something different to the table. We're not trying to change a person to be like this or be like that, or we just want to better. We all are working and bettering ourselves.
Yes. And these young ladies, they sign a unity statement. Yeah. And so the unity statement states that they are their sister's keeper. That whatever is discussed in our sessions, it stays within our sessions because we want them to feel safe and secure. It also states that when you're outside of any event that's growing and with Growing Grace, that you are holding yourself accountable. Once you leave the group, that doesn't mean that you can go out and just be whatever and do whatever. You are to still hold yourself as the upright young lady that you are. And so each one of the young ladies signed the unity statement. Marquece and I, we both signed the unity statement as well. So we have to hold ourselves accountable to, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. I think we all need self-regulation. We all need to do a self-check every once in a while. We can't be hypocrites. So if we're asking them to do something, we have to be able to do it too. So that's very vitally important to us.
So you live out what you're saying.
Exactly.
Not just say it, but you live what you say. Exactly. And you want others to live this. If this is what we're saying, we're talking about, then I live a life of virtue as a woman, and I grow in grace.
Right. And I just, we just want to be transparent and real.
Yes.
Because you know me, I was young.
Yes, I do.
And if you could ask my parents, well, don't ask them.
The same thing, huh?
Don't ask mine. But we both were once younger.
He can say that.
And well, that's on her. Thank God, and mine are not present to give any testimony.
But this is the thing about it, though, because you can thank God that God show all of us to the world what we are now, and not what we were.
Exactly.
But we can talk about what we were because of what we are, who we are now in life.
Exactly.
And where we're at in life.
And not be ashamed of that.
Yes.
And
a true testimony of what we who we are, our life stories in essence, because I do believe that we have to be honest. So often we put on fake, we facade, and we act like we act like this, and it's not true. We need to be truthful with one another.
And I know for me, if I could change just one girl's life from learning from my mistakes.
Exactly.
That's my main goal.
And maybe it's
and to be and to bring them to Christ too.
And maybe it's changing your mistakes or making your mistakes into your ministry.
Yes.
I mean, if we are able to share, hey, this is the road that I went down,
Yeah.
and this is what happened, and someone else happens to be going down that same route or seeing those things, and they know somebody who's been there, that is huge. You don't realize that fork in the road, they took that other route because they listened to what you have. So often we're like, I don't want to tell nobody what I've been through. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I never had that addiction. I never had that problem. I'm not going to tell because they're going to look at me funny, or they're going to look at me weird. No, I'm going to look at you like, man, because no person that's been through anything, I mean, they have a story. A successful person, they had some struggle.
So everybody has made mistakes.
Yes, we
everybody
all have made mistakes. Many mistakes. But God.
And in that mistake that we make, we can still yet change and turn things around.
There's purpose in that pain. It
and
really
then
is.
too, that young individual, young lady can say, if God brought her through that, he can do it for me. What he can do for me,
Exactly.
And
if that's just one lady, okay. Yes. Well, we've done our job, I feel. Yeah. Of course, we want to, we're hoping to make the impact far greater, but, I see it like this, and this is just me personally, and I'm pretty sure Marquece feels the same way. We're going to go as far as God lets us go. Yeah. This isn't us. We've taken us out of it. This is strictly God. So as far as God wants us to go, whatever God wants us to do, that's what we're going to do. And that's the whole game plan. What is the game plan? God.
And have fun doing it.
Yes, and have fun. So our next event.
Will be September 20th here at Wildwood Baptist Church at what time we say? 6:30.
Where's it located?
60 Northeast
63rd
Street.
All right.
Here.
I am so I'm overjoyed with this ministry that you all have been led to do. Y'all have 100% of my support behind you, because I think it's greater, and it's greater than Wildwood. It's not about Wildwood. It's about people. And we invite the community. I do want one of you all to make a comment or respond on this thought here, just in case, because a lot of times we as adults, or we as older people, we don't think that the younger generation, especially with perhaps girls, would be depressed. There may be someone who's depressed about something. What would one of you say to that individual, that young lady who is facing, or they feel that they are experiencing depression right now?
Can I let you touch upon that?
What I would say is let's figure it out together. Because even though you may feel that whatever you're going through is just a you issue, no one else is experiencing this, no one else is talking about it, this is the first time it's ever happened, trust me, you're not alone. And depression is a lonely feeling, but the thing is that you're not going to be alone in the process. In Growing Grace, we make sure that the young ladies know that whatever you're going through, big or small, we can handle this. Let's talk it out. Let's come up with a game plan. Let's come up with a vision. Let's see if we need outside resources, we'll do that. Right. But the worst thing you can do is be alone when you're not alone. And that's, personally, that's the work of the devil, making you feel as though you are the only one fighting this battle when we all are carrying a cross every single day. So if I come across a young lady, and God knows that I have, and we've all just experienced moments when we've been depressed, when we haven't felt our best, and that's when we have to step in and be our sister's keeper, our brother's keeper, and say, hey, let me help you. I see there's a change. I see that some things are different about you. You want to talk about it? You got some time? I've got time. Hey, you want to go to lunch? Hey, can I, And so that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to help those who may be experiencing that. And then once they get through it, because with God's work they will, then they'll be able to help someone else.
Definitely.
Well, I do want to say that I am peacock proud
I knew that was coming.
and hippopotamus proud
Hippopotamus happy and
Happy.
peacock proud.
that you guys are doing this. And I say to anyone that's there that any young lady or anyone, you're not alone. Until the next table talk, we will see you then.